Hands down, the number one thing that is in my comments that I get asked about, commented on all of the time is my hair. And today I just got back from yoga and my hair badly needs to be washed and I have to film this afternoon. So I thought today would be a great time for me to take you through my entire hair process, meaning what I wash it with, how I style it, all of the stuff. And I'll give you a little background story on how I ended up going silver as well while we're doing this. So first things first, some of the things that I'm not going to be doing today, but I do with my hair, is I do a hair perfector, like hair mask, that I'll do once a month. And I just did this last week, so I'm not going to do it again today. Plus it takes a little bit of time. This is one of those masks that you have to get into the shower. You have to thoroughly wet your hair, and then you put this on and let it sit for like 10 to 15 minutes. Then you get into the shower again, and then you rinse it out, and then you wash your hair and condition it after you've done this. So it's a whole process, and I don't have time to do it today. Plus, like I said, I just did it last week. But I do use the Olaplex. So that is something that I made the decision to do a couple of years ago, is to start using better shampoo for my hair, because I do see better results with the better shampoo. So next thing, after talking about this, so then let's talk about shampoo and conditioner. Like I said, I do use Olaplex, and I have tried other shampoos and conditioners through the years, but this is the one that it just leaves my hair feeling the best with the least. It makes it feel softer. It's not as coarse, it styles better. So I have a combo of Olaplex that I use. So once a month, well, maybe twice a month, I will use the purple shampoo and conditioner to help keep the brassiness out of my hair. I live in an old trailer, so there is metal buildup in the pipes for this trailer. So I know that I get some brassiness because of that, plus the time that I spend out in the sun. The more I am learning about how much silver hair and gray hair absorbs things, both the physical things like the minerals from the water, and also the sun damage that can happen to your hair when you are out and about. So I do try to wear a hat. I'm not always great about wearing a hat in the sun, but I do try to wear a hat as much as possible. Two reasons: because of the hair, and also to help protect my face from more skin cancer. So I do use the purple shampoo about twice a month to help with that. Otherwise, I am using the clarifying, and I think they call it just the clarifying shampoo, and then the bond maintenance conditioner. I'll use these on the weeks that I am not using the purple shampoo. And I do only wash my hair like every 4-ish days. Sometimes I'll go 5 days before I wash my hair. I'm trying to remember the last time. I think it's been 4 days since I washed my hair the last time. But now that I'm doing a lot more hot yoga at 100 degrees and it's getting hot outside and I'm sweating a lot more, I'll probably go back to washing my hair like 3 times a week, just because it starts to get a little greasy and nasty. So today I am going to be washing with the clarifying shampoo and using the bond conditioner. So before I jump in the shower and get my hair washed, and then we start on the other process of what I do to my hair to get ready for filming videos or to go out, I don't usually style my hair to just sit around the house. But today I am both filming and I am going out tonight, so it does need to get styled. If you are new here and you haven't heard my silver hair story before, I stopped coloring my hair. It has now been almost 4 years. It was July of 2022 was the last time that I styled my hair. I was actually living in Alaska with the guy that I was dating at the time. We were living, he works as a fishing guide up in Seward, Alaska in the summertime. So I was living with him that summer in a tiny little RV. And we were in a campground that did have like a bathhouse that you could use, but you had to pay money in order to use the shower. So we had a little shower in our RV, but it wasn't conducive to continuing to color my hair. And at that point, I was having to color my hair like every 2.5 to 3 weeks because the grow out was happening so fast and it was so silver that I just had to do it a lot. And trying to maintain that while living in that RV during those conditions, it just ended up being impossible. So I stopped coloring my hair while I was there in Alaska. And for a while, I would use like the crayon to color the hair in, or other various things to just color that part area in so it wouldn't show gray. But by the time I got back to North Carolina after the summer, so I got back here in September, I was ready to, the grow out it was probably at that point about 2.5 or 3 inches out. So it was really starting to be obvious and not something I could really cover up very well. And if you go back and look at any videos from that period, you can see the transition through the eras of what I did to my hair. And I'll try to pull some B-roll from some of those videos so you can kind of see the transition of my hair through that next, like, I'd say it took almost 2 years to really fully grow it out. But I went to my hairdresser and she stripped the color out of the hair that still had color on it as much as she could. And then, tried to blend it as much. So we did that process probably, I did it that time, then I probably waited another 6 months before I had her do it again. And then by then it was all starting to look a little more blended in, but you could still see some of the blonde, which was the colored areas, that's the color it had kind of turned into through the months as that grow out continued to grow out. And it did take, I think, close to 2 years for all of the colored parts of the hair to have fully grown out and to be trimmed off. So I am now probably 2 years into having no color on my hair whatsoever. And I don't get any other treatments done. I don't go and have any glossing treatments done, which I know are available. I just go every 6 months, maybe 4 to 6 months, to get my hair trimmed, and that is it. Otherwise, all of the maintenance I'm doing on my hair is my own. So I'm going to jump in the shower and get everything washed and conditioned, and then I'll get out and show you how I actually style my hair. Okay, hair is all clean now, and I have it in my little drying towel. A couple of things that I did in the shower that I wanted to point out, because I didn't take you into the shower with me, because that would be weird. I do leave my conditioner on for 2 to 3 minutes, as long as I possibly can, while I'm doing other things in the shower. And while I have the conditioner, once I have the conditioner all rubbed into my hair, I will take this wide tooth, like detangling, that's the word. Detangling comb, and comb it through while I have the conditioner still in my hair. And then I'll leave the conditioner on for 2 to 3 minutes. I am going to finish. I'm going to put on my vitamin C serum and go put some clothes on, because that'll be a little easier and I won't flash you while I am working on my hair, because again, that would be weird. So let me go do that and I will be right back. Okay, I am back and decently clothed, so let's move on. First, I'm going to put on a little moisturizer. Something that I've been doing recently, I saw over on Glam Girl Gabby's channel, is taking my moisturizer and then taking these bronzing drops by e.l.f. I am a huge e.l.f. fan. I would love for e.l.f., if you're out there listening, if you would like to sponsor my channel, that would be awesome, because I use your products all the time. Anyway, I've been adding a couple of drops of these bronzing, what do they call them? Yeah, bronzing drops. Adding a couple of those to my moisturizer and just mixing it up, and then applying it as is. And I feel like it gives me, as she says, it kind of gives you a nice little glow before you put anything else on. And I'm trying to be, as we're getting into summer, I'm trying to use foundation a little bit less. Not that I use any heavy foundations anyway. In fact, the heavier the foundation is that I've been trying, I just don't like it. The older I get, I feel like I much rather use something that's just a light tinted sheer formula than anything heavy on my face. So putting the bronzing drops into the moisturizer, I feel like saves me a step when I go to put on makeup for my videos, because most of the time, regularly, I'm not wearing, I'll just put on mascara and lipstick. I don't usually put anything else on. So again, having those bronzing drops in the moisturizer helps to kind of blend the skin in with the rest of the tone of my skin on my body that is getting tanner than it probably should, according to my dermatologist. Okay, now that that is done, another new-ish kind of thing that I've been doing with my hair, I have long been an air hair dryer. Like a lot of times I will wash my hair in the evening and then I will just let it air dry before I go to sleep, and then I go to sleep and let it dry overnight, and then I'll do whatever in the next day. But recently I watched a video by Justin Hickcox. He's a hairdresser out of Portland, hairstylist. I don't know what the proper name is to call him, but he is an expert on older ladies' hair. Like, he does a lot of mature women's hair, including a lot of women who have gone silver. And he discovered a study that was done recently that shows that air drying your hair is actually more damaging than drying your hair with a hair dryer on a low temperature a certain amount away from your hair. Like, you don't want to have it super close up. You still want it, I think the study says 15 centimeters. So whatever that is in, you know, probably like 5 inches away from your hair. So I have started to dry my hair with a hair dryer again, which is not something that I usually do. Now, I was gifted this hair dryer by Timu, I think the Timu, a few years ago. It's probably been like 3 years ago that they gifted this to me. And it is a really nice hair dryer, and it is the one that I use, and I do like it. I like it for a couple of different reasons, and this is not sponsored. This video is not sponsored at all. I like it because it has different temperature settings that you can set it on. So you can have a cool drying air all the way up to, like, I think 140 is the highest. And I usually do it at around between 80 and 120. It does take a little bit because my hair is coarse and thick. It does take a little bit longer for it to dry, but I like that it also has, so not only does it have the different temperature settings, but it also has the different airflow. So it's got both a high flow level, a medium flow, and like a very light flow. And it does come with the different attachments. The one that I use, I just usually use the nozzle looking one, but it does come with, it comes with the more curly volumizer thing. I have not ever learned how to properly use one of these. And every time I try to use it, I feel like my hair is getting more and more tangled. So it's too complicated for me. Maybe one of these days I'll figure out how to use this, but for me, the least amount of complications I can add into my hair care, the better. So I don't really use this. And I think it also comes with like a comb through option as well. But the one that I use is this one. So the other thing, along with blow drying my hair, is to use a heat protectant. So the one that I have started using is this Sun Bum heat protectant. It's paraben free. It's got really, really good reviews. Plus, I just love Sun Bum products. I think they're a high quality company. So I like, just like e.l.f., you know, they're a company that I trust their products. So I really like it. It's got like a dual, I don't know if you can see it on camera. Yeah, you can see. So it's got like I think the oil layer and then the other product layer, and they separate. So you have to shake it up before you spray it on your hair. But you spray it on your hair before you dry, and then it protects your hair from both the heat of the hair dryer and the heat of whatever tool that you're going to use to style your hair. And today I will be curling my hair. It is very humid outside. There's thunderstorms rolling through right now. I swear, I feel like every video I filmed lately, there's been like a thunderstorm rolling through. It is that time of year here So it's not all that unusual, but it is kind of funny that that's it. I guess because I'm inside on the cloudy days, so it's thunderstormy outside. But I'm gonna shake this up, spray it on my hair, and start blow drying my hair and get my hair dry. And then we will move on to the next part of what I do for my hair. Okay, I am all dry, and in case you were curious, I did the drying on the second lowest setting. So I showed you the settings. I was completely wrong on the temperatures, but so the lowest is 80. I bumped it up to 140, and it goes all the way to 210. So I did it on the second lowest, so I did it on 140, and it took me just a little shy of 5 minutes to get my hair completely dried, which I think is pretty darn fast. I feel like I remember back in the day when I had much shorter hair, it took longer than that. But also, I don't think hair dryers were as high tech as they are now. One thing about this hair dryer is that this does stay pretty hot after you use it to dry your hair. So a lot of times I'll have to unplug it and put it like on my bed to cool off before I put it away, because I don't really like putting it away while it's still so hot. I don't know, I just have this idea that it might melt something else that's in my box that has all of my hair tools in it. Anyway, just wanted to point that out in case it is something that you're interested in. But I am happy with how quickly that does dry my hair. So now that it is all dry, and it actually doesn't have a whole lot of frizz in it today, which I'm kind of surprised given the temperature, but I am inside with the AC on, so that's probably a reason that it's not super frizzy. Okay, I'm gonna put the hair dryer away, and then we will get started on doing the curling part of the hair. Now, because I did put the heat protector on my hair before I dried it, I don't usually put anything else on my hair before I style it, but I am going to brush through. This is like a hair, it's supposed to be like a wet hair brush. Obviously my hair is not wet anymore, but I like to, it's supposed to help with flyaways and frizz. Whether it does or not, I mean, I couldn't tell the difference, but I do like it. It's nice and soft, and it's, the bristles aren't hard and they don't feel damaging to my hair, so I don't mind it. It's gotten something on there, I don't know. Anyway. I brush my hair through before I do the curling. Now, the curling wand that I have been using now for many years, and I've talked about this before. Let me pull it out. I've got all this stuff down here. So it is a curling wand that comes with 5 different attachments. So this is one of the attachments, a progression curl that goes from thicker to smaller. I use this a lot. I actually use all of the attachments pretty interchangeably, just depending on what I want my hair to look like. This is another one. This is the super skinny curling wand, and this is the one when you see me with super tight curls. I think I just did a video a couple of weeks ago that you can see I've got really, really tight curls. This is the curling wand that I'm using for that. And then, what else do I have? Oh, here we go. Here's the bag. And then I have just the wider, I think this is like a 1 or 1.5 inch curling wand. So when you see more of the waves that I do, this is the one that I use for that. And then I don't really use this one very much. I used it when I first got the curling wand, but I really haven't used this in quite a while. So that's probably the one I don't use all that often. And then in the winter time, I will use this one when there's no humidity in the air. And I'll use this just to get that, if I'm wearing my hair more straight, let's say, like just with a little bit of a curved wave at the bottom of it, this is what I am usually using for this. And in fact, I will sometimes straighten my hair with my straightener, and then I will go back and either use this or the 1.5 inch curling wand to put the loose waves into my hair. But this gives more of a really loose, beachy wave kind of look to it. But when it's super humid outside, and once I step outside, my hair is going to kind of frizz up. I don't even bother with straightening and doing this because it's just not gonna, it's just gonna look like a frizzy mess. I guess it won't look like a frizzy mess. I'd just rather lean into the curls when it's humid outside than try to fight them with trying, because I'd put on more product if I was doing this. I'd put on some like some paste on the top of my hair, which I'll do a little bit later. I'll show you. That's the one other product that I'll put in my hair today, but I'll use more of it if I'm trying to go straight with those kind of loose waves. That's for another day. I might have done a video that I showed that. I don't think so. So those are, I'm not going to use those. I'm not going to go super curly either today. I think I'm going to use kind of my go-to lately is just this kind of graduated curling wand, and it gives a nice body to it. And the curls, what I love about these curling wands, the curls stay in my hair for so long. Like I'll do it every day. If I've slept on it and it's gotten kind of funky, I'll redo it. But for the most part, the curls stay in my hair for a long time, a couple of days at least. I don't have to recurl, but sometimes I do just to make it look a little neater. Okay, I'm gonna plug this in. Something else I want to share with you about this curling wand is that it has different settings here. So you can go on a lower level setting, or you can go all the way up to the higher heat setting. Because I am trying to protect my hair from hot tools and the heat so it doesn't burn it, I am doing it on the lower level instead of the high level, because I have found because my hair does hold the curl, I can do the lower level and it works just fine. In fact, if I use any of my other curling irons, which I don't really use them all that often. Let's see, what else do I have in here? This is one that I'll use sometimes in the wintertime. It's a little bit bigger than the 1.5, so this is probably a 2-inch barrel, I think, and it's a Hot Tools, and it's got the temperature adjustment thing here, and I'll have it like about 2/3 of the way on the temperature and not all the way up. Again, just trying to prevent burning my hair. Not that I'm gonna burn it and it's gonna break off, but to keep it healthier long term anyway. Because I do like having longer hair, and if I'm damaging it while it's growing out, then I'm not gonna be able to get it as long. Although lately I've been keeping it a little bit shorter. I watched a video from last fall, I think I was trying to research something, and I was looking at one of my videos from, I want to say like last September maybe, and boy, my hair was really, really long before I got it cut. But I've been trying to keep it trimmed up and keep it a little healthier, because going in and having almost 2 inches cut off of your hair when you're trying to keep it long, it's just kind of sad. I had short hair for so much of my life. I either had super short hair or I wore a bob, and it took me so long to grow my hair out that now I don't ever want to cut any of it off, but I know it looks healthier and in some ways styles better with it not being too long. Okay, so I think we are ready to curl now. I think it's heated up enough, and get my little clip thing out. I'm trying to figure out the best place to put you. Probably where you are now, although I might put you back over here. Let's move you back over here. I think it'll make more sense, because then I can look in the mirror and do what I need to do. I'm talking to you like you can see me. It's like I've never filmed videos before. It is a little challenging here in the bathroom to get you all set up, and the lighting's not all that fantastic, but it's the best that I have. So, okay. So I do 3 sections of curling. So I'll take as a top section, and I'm gonna clip it up. And I have a lot of people ask if I color my hair, and I addressed it early on, but I just want to point out how much darker the bottom part of my hair is, and it's always been that way. I have grayed from the part of my hair down, so the top part of my hair turned gray and silver obviously much faster than the bottom part is doing. And that, my mom and my grandfather, that's how their hair grayed as well. So I'm sure it's genetic. And I mean, there's no doubt it's genetic, but it is kind of interesting because it does look like I've taken the time to put some like lowlights in, but it is all natural. I'm very, very lucky, and I'm very grateful that it has grown out that way. I have people ask me all the time, you know, about my hair. And I always said, you know, when I made the decision to stop coloring it, I told myself that I could always go back and color it again if I wanted to. That, you know, you're never, just like with anything in life, there are some decisions that you can make in this world that you can't go back on. But the majority of decisions that you make, you know, you can change your mind. It's not a terrible thing to change your mind. I feel like our generation just, there's a lot of things that, ideals that I feel like we were brought up with, you know, perfectionism being one, you know, like if you attempt something, you need to be perfect at it the first time that you attempt it. I don't think there was a whole lot of options for being able to make mistakes given to us when we were growing up. But being able to change your mind, you know, that was the other thing. It was sort of like when we went off to college, I feel like, you know, we were told, oh, you got to decide what you're going to, you know, major in college, and that's what you're going to do for the rest of your life. And there wasn't a whole lot of space given for, you know, it's okay if you go to school and you decide 5 different times that you want to change your mind. It was looked down upon. Like you would hear people talk about people who had gone to college and they'd started off in one thing and then they just couldn't decide what they wanted to do. And it just was always kind of looked down as a negative, that these people were sort of flaky. And I don't think that's at all. I mean, I wish that we had been encouraged to try all the different things that we love and are passionate about in our lives before we had to make money at it or figure out a career or a profession to do. Because, you know, I feel like my life would have gone, I'm very happy with the direction that my life has gone in, and I'm so grateful to be here. But I do think that there are other decisions that I might have made if I had been a little more open, had the ability to be more open to changing my mind. And I say that, and I did change my major in college a couple of times. I think initially I went going into accounting and I changed it to business marketing. So it wasn't like a huge change, but I really wanted to be a fashion designer, to be completely honest with you. I fully wanted to go to school and be a fashion designer. And I was at a school that had a really, really good fashion design program, fashion and interior design program, because we were in an area that was very big into textiles, the textile industry at the time. And I wish I had stuck with going into fashion design, but it was like, oh, you're never going to be able to get a job. It's so competitive. It's challenging, all those things. I was just really given discouraging feedback on trying to be a fashion designer. So I was like, decided to take the safe route and get a business degree. You know, I look back and I really wish I had done the fashion, and I would have made it work. It's sort of like with this YouTube channel, you've kind of got to go into things that you want to do and be a little bit delusional. I think the kids, the Gen Zs, I think it's more the Gen Z and the younger millennials really kind of have a good idea with the delulu because there are definitely things that I would have never attempted when I was younger that I am attempting now, because I just think, well, if they can do it, I can do it. I'm delusional about that. I mean, some of them work out, some of them don't, but at least I tried. Okay, I'm gonna finish curling my hair and then I will come back and show you. But you'll see, as you see, I'm just taking each section. I guess I should talk about the hair since I am doing it. I take each section and I'll curl it one way around the wand for that section, and then I just hold it for a couple of seconds. I don't hold it super long, and then I let it slide out. And then the next section, I will curl it going the opposite way, like that. And then, so then it gives kind of some directional variety to the hair, and I think it lays better if I do the curls going in different directions. So I'll show you a little bit better on this side. I think you'll be able to see it a little bit better. So I'm going to take this section and I'm going to wrap it going forward like that, and we'll hold it for a few seconds. And you do want to wear the glove when you are using a curling wand, otherwise you will be burning your fingers. So then the second section, and they're about, I'd say 1 to 2 inch sections. So this section I'm going to curl the opposite way around the wand, like that. And I just do this for my entire head, so that you do get a little, like, these little kind of funny curls at the end if I hold it too tight down there at the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna finish doing the rest of it and then I will be back. So you can see under this light a little bit of the yellow in the silver here, and that is what I am trying to make sure I don't get more of. And that is the thing that I have considered going and getting like a gloss treatment done to my hair. I don't know, I may try it out and see if it helps with getting some of the yellow out, but I think for the most part it's actually pretty healthy and not too yellowed. The one thing about the purple, using the purple shampoo and conditioner, is because my hair is so porous, and most people with gray and silver hair, their hair is porous and it'll like really soak in whatever you are putting on it. It can have a little bit of a purple sheen for a few days to a week after I have washed and conditioned using the purple stuff. So that's interesting, especially if I'm wearing something blue or purple, it really, really pops. I mean, not in a bad way, because some people, it's really fun to have like a little piece of like strip of brightly colored hair, you know, in your silver hair. I had a mentor when I was in real estate who had gone silver pretty young, and she always had like a streak of purple or green in her hair in the front, like in the bangs, and it was really cute. And my daughter's had bright colored hair multiple times through her life. When she graduated from high school, she had what I call mermaid hair. It was green and blue. It was so I loved it. I thought it was just beautiful. But you know, it is kind of a pain to keep up with because you are having to constantly color it. Okay, I'm almost done here. Now this is going to be pretty tight. It's going to look fairly tight for most of the rest of the day. It's not going to fall out until tomorrow. I'm going to show you what it looks like all done here, but then I will also pop up a picture or a video of what it looks like the next day too, so you can see how it holds up through the filming and the humidity and going out and listening to a band tonight. All the things. Okay, last one and done. Once I have it all curled like this, I will just kind of finger comb it to loosen the curls up, because I don't particularly like them being tight. And then I just kind of like fluff it up and try to get some volume at the top. That's another thing that Justin Hickox, I think I'm pronouncing his name right, you know, suggest, especially for us mature ladies, is that the more volume that we have at the top of our head helps to visually pull up this part of our face and our jawline. So if, like, I'm not a fan of my jaw and, you know, how this is a little saggy down here, so having hair that is a little more volumized at the top helps to pull all that up visually, or the perspective makes you look like you have a tighter jawline than maybe it looks like if you have your hair flat and straight. I don't know. That's his opinion. I mean, I think it works. I do like having kind of fluffy hair, and as you can see, it's pretty fluffy and it's a little frizzy at the top. So what I do for that is I use this gel from Cantu that you'll see, I've had this for a while. It's almost empty. I don't use this very often, and I've probably had this container for 4 years, maybe longer, because it takes me that long to go through it. And then I just do a tiny, tiny little dab, like I would say dime size, as they like to do coin sizes for hair products. And then I just kind of lightly tap on the flyaways and a little bit through these front pieces to separate them out and make them a little less, so they don't like keep going into each other and just end up being one big curl, which looks a little weird. It looks a little, is it Mary Olsen? Who's from Little House on the Prairie? The girl with the curls. I don't want it to look like that. God, what is her name? Olsen. Oh, I'll put it up on the screen when I find it, but you know who I'm talking about. Or like Ramona the Pest, the girl that she sat behind in school and she would do the boing boing with her curls. This is all Gen X stuff, right? If you're Gen X, you know exactly what I am talking about. Okay, there it is. I am all styled and ready to start filming. Well, after I put on my makeup, of course. So I did walk you through everything that I do for my hair and the history of my silver journey, my silver hair journey. But if you do have any other questions about my hair or anything to do with anything else in my life, feel free to pop it down in the comments below. I'm pretty much an open book, and I'm trying to share all of these behind the scenes things with you because I feel like, you know, we're building a friendship here. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you can go out and find some joy in your life, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.